Hello and welcome back to my channel. Obviously, I'm not in headquarters. I am in the Tesla right now. And after camping and everything we did over the last couple of days in St. Augustine, we kind of have been deciding about road tripping. And where could we be going? I don't know. Route 66. A lot of you have heard of Route 66. It starts in Illinois and then ends in California. From Lake Michigan or the lake in Chicago, all the way to the Pacific Ocean through the Midwest. And it's the road, or the old route. It no longer really exists the way it used to, but it was a way to connect all the people out west to the Midwest. Let's talk about Route 66 today. Hello, welcome fellow travelers to Route 66. Some of the history, some of the captivating qualities it has still, and if we're able to do it. The story of Route 66 begins in the early 20th century, when the United States was experiencing a surge in automobiles, automobile culture, and the need for cross-country travel. With the advent of the automobile, there arose a demand for a well-connected highway to facilitate that cross-country travel need. Route 66 facilitated transport of goods from the Midwest to the West Coast. Route 66 was born. Route 66 officially opened in 1926 and became the first all-weather, year-round road to bridge that distance. It basically connected the Midwest to the Pacific Coast. Other passes go through too tall of mountains. Sometimes winter can close them down, landslides. This was a more forgiving way to get from the Midwest all the way to the Pacific Coast. Spanning over 2,400 miles, it provided a direct route for travelers and goods, fostering economic growth and cultural exchange along its path. Starting from Chicago, Illinois, the easternmost point of Route 66, travelers would embark on a journey filled with adventure and discovery. The road wound its way through the states of Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and finally California. Let's explore some of the major attractions that await our potential road trip on Route 66. Our journey would begin in the vibrant city of Chicago, Illinois. From the bustling streets of downtown to the iconic Cloud Gate sculpture, also known as the Jelly Bean sculpture, in Millennium Park. Don't forget to explore the renowned Art Institute of Chicago and experience the city's lively music and food scenes. As we venture further west, we arrive in probably the next biggest town, St. Louis, Missouri, or St. Louis, Missouri? I think St. Louis, Missouri, that's how you say it. Home to the majestic Gateway Arch. This architectural marvel symbolizes the nation's westward expansion and offers breathtaking views of the city and the mighty Mississippi River. Be sure to take a tram ride to the top for an unforgettable experience. I mean, that's pretty iconic. We all have seen it in photos or in movies or seen it in person. I haven't. Can't wait to do it. I want to, if you can, walk under it from the east to the west. So of course, continuing through Oklahoma, Kansas, and that stuff, we're going to see a lot of other little things and maybe diners and historic signs. There's a lot of museums and whatnot. Also, Route 66 museums along the way. There's a few of them. I would like to hit them all up and see what's different about them. But one of the next biggest things that I've seen and I want to see is in Amarillo, Texas. So way in the panhandle of Texas, the northern part of Texas. Many of you have probably seen it or heard of it. It's called the Cadillac Ranch. So if you've seen it, it's where the guy did the sculptures, or he put Cadillacs in the ground and they're sticking up, the back end of them, I believe, or the front end. And I think they've changed throughout the years, and people paint them and graffiti them and put their name. It's just an evolving kind of art installation. I really want to see that. I've seen a lot of iconic, I won't say iconic, but Instagram photos of that place, and just the colors, and then the desert kind of, the sandy kind of contrast. That's pretty cool. One of the next major cities that I want to explore is, of course, Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've been through there when I was younger, but I don't really remember anything about it. But there's a lot of things to do there, just like the whole route, actually. You can explore the city's vibrant culture, of course, in the old historic town plaza. Indulge in flavors of New Mexican cuisine. I love Mexico, Tex-Mex, Mexican. That's probably my favorite type of food. Visit the eclectic shops and immerse yourself in the blend of Spanish and Native American culture and cuisine. New Mexico is one of those places where I think it's very hard. It's just crazy how great the food is there. And I think we all think the food's better in other places, maybe. Like as you're traveling, oh, you got to hit up this diner, like diners, drive-ins, and dives kind of thing. But I can't wait to go there. I want to get some of the Tex-Mex and just, oh my gosh, some Indian fry bread if there's any, if we see any. There's just going to be, I need to pace myself because the whole route is nothing but diners and snacks and pit stops, and I won't say nothing but there's quite a lot of them. Now as we venture further west, of course, we're going to go through pretty much most of the most popular areas of Arizona, home to natural wonders such as the Painted Desert, which we've driven through, the Petrified Forest, which is awesome. I went there when I was younger and I want to go back. Marvel at the vibrant desert and witness ancient trees turned into stone over millions of years ago. It's just crazy how they look like trees still, but they are solid. Like you can't pick them up. Well, pieces. You're not supposed to though. Don't pick up the trees. Don't pick up the trees. But of course, the Grand Canyon, which we did a pretty big trip through that area 2 years ago, I want to say, a road trip. We flew there though, drove and then flew back. Drove around the area. Quite a big, we drove about 3,000 miles between Arizona, Utah, a little bit of California, I think. We just kind of kept driving around trying to hit up everything. But I love Arizona. Sedona, who doesn't love Sedona? I can't afford Sedona, but I can afford to drive through there and look at I want to go to Red Rock. It's just a beautiful place. We can't wait to drive through there. Whenever we do again, whether it's this trip or not, but Arizona is probably one of my favorite states I want to go to. I'm really excited about how it's going to transition from the Midwest to the West. That moment when you realize, where's the grass? Where's the plains? Where's the trees? There is some trees and of course those other desert states or the west states, but they're usually up high or they're in the cities, but the like spans of roadway are pretty desolate looking unless you're in little pit stops. But I can't wait to kind of see that transition and maybe hopefully film it and be aware enough that while I'm driving that, well, the grass is tapering off. We're in the West. We're West. Anyway, finally, I missed a lot of towns, but I'm trying to do this quick, but I've already rambled so far, but there's the actual Route 66. I'm going to put some pictures up. It is quite long. It's over 2,400 miles, linear miles. So it's quite a long way. And just think you're going through all those states. And pretty much some of the thickest parts, except for Texas, of those states. So that's a lot of driving. But finally, we conclude our journey in California. And of course, in the city of Los Angeles, which I actually would go there every summer when I was younger. My grandmother and grandfather lived there, and my aunt and uncle. And it was a big part of my life. And I really cherish the memories I have of Los Angeles. I know it's vastly different now because that was, over 30 something years ago. It is quite changed and way more congested, but I still want to kind of see if I can remember those areas of my childhood. And of course, Hollywood, just driving through it, Beverly Hills, just the iconic stuff. And of course, the route actually ends in Santa Monica, so I want to do the Santa Monica Pier. I don't remember doing that. I'm pretty sure I have as a kid, but that is iconic, like California, Santa Monica Pier. Iconic. I've seen it in so many movies. People talk about it a lot. There's so many things to do there. I also really remember La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles, and I really want to go see that. I just remember being obsessed with that place and just impressed by that there's fossils. Anyway, just Google it if you've never heard of it. La Brea tar pits. There's actual tar bubbling from the earth in this area. There's bugs, wasps trying to get in this Tesla. They know I'm in here. Wasps, by the way, are my enemy, and I think a lot of our enemies, they don't like me. I don't like them. No offense, and I know they play a part somehow. I don't know what it is. So Route 66 is not just a road. It's a historical treasure trove offering a glimpse into America's past. As we plan our own adventure, or as you plan your own adventure, take time to research the numerous hidden gems, charming motels, and roadside attractions that make Route 66 the unforgettable journey, and I would say American icon that it is. And remember, planning is part of the excitement. Grab a map. I ordered this. I recommend this, but not for navigation. This has more of like, don't miss this and how to stay on the, if you want to be like guaranteed to stay on the route, because there's some parts of the route that it basically disappears. You have to make some weird turns at stop signs and lights and get off. If you really want to do turn by turn, this is on Amazon. I will put it in the description or in my Amazon store. It's by Jerry McClanahan and Jim Ross. It's their 5th edition, and it's by each state. So you have, 5, 6, 7 maps here, but it breaks it down how to stay on the route turn by turn. maybe not. It's just because I'm looking at it. But it comes in that, and it's by state. It's pretty neat. I don't want to kind of spoil it. It's not plastic, like it's water can damage it, so that's something to be mindful of. It is kind of excessive, but if you really want to stay as close to possible, that's what we're going to try to do. We do have to combat the fact that we're also in a Tesla, so we have to stay close to the chargers, which I looked, there is a route that's pretty spot on to the actual route. It's just a little bit more modern, so it stays with the Tesla supercharging network. But just remember, planning is part of the fun of the whole journey. Whether you're a history enthusiast, photographer, or an adventure seeker. Also, I would say you love food. This legendary road trip will leave you with lifelong memories. So get ready to hit the road and embark on Route 66. I think planning it is probably going to be almost as rewarding as the actual thing. It is quite daunting to try to map. That's why I'm glad we're in this car, because like we just camped in here, so we could pull over and just hop the mattress down back here, take a nap in a rest stop or whatever at a gas station. We won't be getting gas, but you know, wherever we can take a nap if we can't get to a motel. Like, it's going to be hard to map that out because I don't know the road conditions. I don't know how long we want to linger in an area. So we're going to try to just drive consistently, but you know, take our time and stop and enjoy what is Route 66, that Americana. I can't wait to see all the different diners and take photos and, you know, whatever. Just, it's iconic. What, the largest whatever on the side of the road, the largest chair, spool of twine or whatever. I don't think that's actually on Route 66, but there's a lot of that kind of situation going on there. So I'm really excited about that. So thank you for joining me on this virtual exploration. It's kind of like a virtual exploratory of an potential exploration, which we may be doing very soon, of some of the history, some of the attractions, some of the cities. And I hope this has inspired you to plan your trip on Route 66 or to plan a road trip. I think even though gas prices are high, EVs are kind of highly priced, and so is the charging. We are doing this because we still have a few months left on it. We got free charging with this Tesla, so we figured we can mitigate the cost of the road trip by having free fuel, so to speak, free charging for the duration. It's unlimited for your miles. It just expires at the end of a certain time frame. This road trip would be like about a month away from being expired when we get to go, so that's why we're kind of planning it. We're going to save right there. I looked at the price of gas roughly for our old car. It would have been over $1,000 in gas, because it's about, the journey we would have to take is about 5,000 miles, a little bit more than that. So we had to get from Florida to Chicago, so that's about 800 something miles. And then from there, commence the Route 66. So from the east going west. And then from the west, we would drive back through pretty much I-10, which is way lower than Route 66 is kind of diagonal from Chicago down to California this way. And then whereas from California, once we're down in Los Angeles this way, we would come back on I-10 and stay pretty south of the United States until we get to Texas and get lower. But yeah, and we've been through a lot of that area, but it's kind of going to be neat. We're going to get to hit some stuff there, some iconic stuff there on I-10. And I-10, for those of you who don't know, it goes all the way from Los Angeles all the way to Jacksonville, Florida. It completely spans the United States. So that's another road trip. It's not as old, the road. Well, it is pretty old, but it's not like as old as Route 66, I think. It hits up every big city, I think, in the South. Houston. Happy travels wherever you road trip. I think America, we're lucky to have a country that's so easy to road trip in, no matter how historic you want to go, how new you want to go. There's also the Pacific Coastal Highway that we've talked about. We've also talked about maybe doing that. We're just a little apprehensive. We know there's a lot of people vandalizing cars and stuff, and we're just nervous about having to like park or sleep in the vehicle in those type of places for now. I don't know if it's as rampant as I'm seeing on the TV, but that's something that we're kind of thinking about to avoid for now, even though we would also love to do that. And that's a little bit more miles too. That's about 7,000 miles when I planned that trip from here to there and back. So that's a bigger, definitely we would take more advantage of the free charging aspect of it. But anyway, that's enough about this video. So what do you think about Route 66? Have you gone on Route 66? Have you thought about it? Did you go when you were younger? I'm really interested because I've hit up parts of it when I was younger. We never drove the whole thing, which I guess if I was younger, I wouldn't have realized how cool it was anyway. So it's not like a big deal, but I'm really excited to potentially have this knocked out this year. And just stay tuned. I'll be doing a series on that on all my platforms, TikTok and whatever. Maybe make like a whole series and then like a daily kind of update series, like daily check-in, we're here, and then do an actual better kind of series. I'm trying to get better on my videos, but anyway, thank you for watching and supporting my channel, and happy travels, happy travel planning. Let me know what I should do on Route 66, where I should go. I want to know what, you know, all the towns, Tulsa, Oklahoma City. There's so many things. Tell me a good place to eat. Tell me a good place that I need to take a photo of or take a video of. Anyway, thank you for watching, and this is live in our Tesla Model 3. Bye. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you can, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to see more. Bye.